again, as I was saying, for you to create a new branch, what do you use? Git branch, then the name of the branch that you want to create. Then for you to move into that branch, you use what? Git checkout. So Git checkout helps you change branches, switch branches. Now, as you can see, I'm now in that branch. So now I can do the feature, I can work on the feature I want to work on for that branch. Now, how do I do it? All I have to do is go right to this place, this fitness app. Now, this is what I want to add, right? This is an image, not that, this is not a picture. This is not a design. It's an image that you have to download. So once I export it, what I'm not going to have now is going to be what? This. So all I have to do is go right into my VS Code and import that file. So I'm going to say open file, and I'm going to add it. So where is it? So this is it. I'm going to add it. So let me add it to my assets. So now I have it. So now as you can see, I'm now in the new picture and not in my master. You are never to work on your master. It is very important that you never work on your master. Very important. Now, what I want to do now is that I want to add this line that is here. Again, this line is never supposed to be inside of anything. Why? Because you are meant to move it around and place it at the back of something. So I'm going to do the same thing by what? Putting it outside of this. So I can just put it outside this hero image. Again, this is not a CSS class. So just bear with me and just go back and try and sound all of these things. So now I'm going to give it a class and I'm going to call it lines. Now for the line, it's going to have an image, and this image is going to have assets / I think it's hero image underscore back. And yeah, this is it. Now, if you go ahead and you check it out, and you should have it. So as you can see, you have it here. So first of all, I need to reduce it. It's too big. So I'm going to give this, okay, I think it's the same thing. So I'm going to say the lines, right? IMG. I'm going to reduce the, also give it a position of absolute, right? Because it has to be moved around, right? So now if you check it out now, it is going to be, all right. So now let us check the width here is what? 368 or 88. So I'm just going to go ahead and give it 200, width of about 200 pixels. Now, if you check it out now, I think it should be smaller. Now it's small, I think it's better. So you can move it right here. Now, moving it, I'm just going to give it a left. Let's move it away from the left of 70%. Once and for all. Let's give it 60%. Yeah, I think this is it. This is what we need. But now, it is now to the back and not actually. I think we still need to. Yeah, we need to increase. the width. So let's give it first of all. Now it's at the back, not at the front like this. Good. At the back, not at the front like this. Now, for us to do that, we're going to give it a z index of -1. Eh? No, we did not give the image z index. This was what I gave a z index of -1 so that this image comes from. I'm not touching the image at all. So if I give it z index of -1, now what happens? It goes to the back of the image. So now if you see it out now, so as you can see, there's no z index in the image. So if I say z index of -1, what do we have now? It is not going to be what? At the back. So let's refresh. And what's happening? So now it's at the back. Can I see it now? Very well. So this is, I still feel like this is not correct. Okay, it is actually. It is. Okay, this should come up a little bit. This one should come up a little bit. So let us give it like a top of, let's do top of 100 pixels, and let's see what we have. Okay, 80, 70, just like see what we have. Is that it? Okay. Then left of 56 pixels. 56%. No, 8. Yeah. So this is it. This is exactly what we are looking for. So if you check it out now, it looks more like it. Do you get it now? So now we've been able to get this feature. We're able to get this feature now. Now, how exactly do we make sure that it is now appearing in our master branch? Now, that is what I need you to get now. This is a very important thing. First of all, you create a separate branch for it. Now, how will that branch now get into the master branch? First thing that you need to push it to GitHub. Now, on GitHub is not going to recognize that, okay, in this master branch, you now have other branches. You understand? Now, to push it to, how do you push to GitHub? Git add, git commit, git push. So I will not say git add, your normal add git commit, right? Git commit. So let's call this lines feature implemented. Or line feature implemented, whatever. Now, I've committed it, right? The next is what? Push to GitHub. But now I need to note what is going to happen here. If I say git push, what happens? It's saying that what? The current branch new feature has no upstream master. What does this mean? It simply means that, yes, new feature exists locally, but it does not exist where? On GitHub. Let me show you what I'm trying to say. If I come right here to GitHub now, and on GitHub, you go to branches. Let's go to code. Let's go to code and let us see what we have. Just a moment. All right, good. Now, if I click on, can I see branches here now? If I click on branches now, it's trying to tell you that you have 2 branches. Okay, that's from the other branch that I created, but that's a hero image. Just leave that one. That is not a branch. Now, if you check these branches now, what do you see? You see master. We don't need this one again. I'm going to delete it. Let's leave it. But can you see? Just remove the other arrow section. You have what? Master. That's the only branch that you have. Now, for this master to be recognized, remember what we did? We did git branch that was M, capital M, master. For it to be recognized online, we have to also what? Create it. And for it to be recognized online, we have to create it online too. That's for the master branch. It's the same thing with the arrow section. Sorry, lines feature or new feature. Because we already created new feature locally, we need to also create it online for it to work. That's why it's trying to tell us that before we can push anything from this place to GitHub, we have to set the upstream, but to have an origin of what new feature. So if I copy this right here now, and I paste it here, and I click on enter, what happens? I will now create a new feature branch on GitHub. So if I now want to push the next time, I don't have to do this again. I'll just say git push. Keep pushing to that branch. Now, if you check this place out now, you will now see that you have what other branches here. So now I'll refresh it and then we'll see it. Can you see it? New feature. Because now I've now got created. Eh? I did not create it here. I created it here. Eh? So this place says git push set upstream origin feature. That's how we did. And the thing is that once you say git push and you've not created it before, it's automatically going to give you this command. So just what? Copy it and paste, and then go ahead and what? Click enter. It automatically works. That is what your set upstream means. Now, if you check here now, we should have it now. But one thing is that it has not yet been merged to your code for a particular reason. And the reason is that first of all, you need to merge it to your what? To your master branch. So for you to merge it to your master branch, first of all, you need to compare. What does compare and pull means? compare and pull is saying that you need to first of all check what you worked on in that branch. Is it that it's going to harm your code, or is it going to actually help your code, or probably add more features to your code? Or there is a conflict. What does conflict mean? So, for instance, let's say that I worked on home.html. Miss Favor works on home.html. Miss Favor had H1. I removed H1. That's a conflict. Or let's say there's an H1 before. In that H1, I said, welcome to my website. Miss Favor says, welcome to Favor's website. That's a conflict. You've changed something on that particular line. So conflicts, of course. Now, GitHub is now confused, or Git is confused. Which one do you want me to keep? Is it your own H1 or my own H1 on the same file? Is it your own H1 or my own H1? Eh? If he keeps the two, I say that means you have two H1. So he wants you to know, okay, are you keeping the two, like I said, or are you choosing one? And which one are you going to choose, your own or my own? So that's where conflict occurs. I'm also going to give us a scenario of conflict so you see it. Now, if I compare and I pull now, so compare and pull request, what happens is that it's going to tell me that, okay, it is able to merge. If there was a conflict, it's telling me that conflict. But now it's able to merge, but there is no conflict. Now, in the next example, I'm going to give us a conflict so you can see. Now, as you can see, this is the only file that changed. It also told me the codes that I also wrote. Now, can you see how it is actually tracking your progress? Tracking everything that you're doing. So that's basically what Git is talking about. So now if I click on create pull request now, so click on create pull request, check, okay, can I merge? Is this thing will it be okay if I merge it? So it's going to check it out, it's going to give me a result. So checking for the ability to merge automatically. So I'm going to wait for this, and once it shows a green check, we'll go ahead and merge pull request. Now, it is getting interesting here because there's one more thing that I need everybody to get. So I'm going to reload it again to see what we have here. So as you can see, no conflicts. You see, there is no conflict. Now, if I click on merge pull request and confirm merge, now check what is going to happen. Now, it is now on your master, right? So as you can see, it's going to show you a message here now. Lines feature implemented. Why? Because it now merged it into the master. Now, let me check here now. Let us switch back to the master. Please, I want you to note what happens to this line. Let's switch back to the master. Just look at the lines. I'm going to say git branch master. Now, note what happens to the line and the code. Sorry, git checkout, rather, master. Now, I want you to note what happens to it. What happened? Disappeared. That's to tell you that master is never to be worked on. And if you are working on another branch, you are saying that that branch does not have access to code that another branch has access to. Now, this just shows you that, okay, if you're on another computer and I'm on another computer, we have different branches. We will never have the same thing. Now, you may now be having a question. How then do we now have access to this particular code that is now on GitHub? Because the codes that are here are definitely way ahead of the ones that are here. Because you know the features that are on this master. So how then do we now have access to it here? That takes me to my next point, which was Git pull. So for you to get access, so for instance, Miss Favor worked on a particular branch. She pushes to GitHub. We met on GitHub. How will I now have access locally to what she has worked on? Do you get the scenario? Let me explain it again. Worked on home. You push to GitHub, right? We merge on GitHub. How will I now have access to what you merged on GitHub locally on my own computer? Do we get the question? Are you following? Is everybody following? Yeah? Let me explain it again. You worked on a particular feature called home. You push to GitHub, right? We merged on GitHub. You worked on it on your computer. I did not work on it yet. So how will I now have access to it on my own computer? You get the question now? Do you understand it? Let me explain it again. There is a code base GitHub. You now worked on home.html. we pushed GitHub, and then we merged on GitHub like we did here. Right? As you can see, I pushed GitHub, we merged on GitHub now. How will you now have access to what you merged? That's the question. You still don't understand. I'm on master, right? Right? But where did I push from? New feature. So when I pushed to GitHub from new feature, what happened? I was able to merge to master on GitHub. Master here, do I have access to those files here? No. So how will I not get those files on master? Is the question. Eh? No, I cannot go back to new feature because even if I go back, if I go back to new feature now, let me explain. If I go back to new feature, wait, if I go back to new feature now, yes, I'll have access to it, right? But your master is where all of your updated code should be. That means if I still want to keep working on certain things, so for instance, you push to GitHub now, I will not have access to your own code. I want you to take this new feature and master as two separate computers. New feature, yes, is on my computer, but what if you are the one that created new feature and worked on new feature? Is it on my computer? No. Good. Clone can work, but will you keep cloning for life? Eh? You cannot keep cloning for life when there is a simpler way. That you and another thing, you should never edit anything on GitHub. That is very important. Do not, in fact, don't come to GitHub and say, okay, I just want to click on this add readme. No. Every single thing that you are doing should be from your code base to GitHub. You understand? Do not do anything here. This place is just to have record of what you are doing. Your code is where I was pushing. Now, what? No. What you should do is you should use git pull. What does git push do? What does git push do? Pushes your code to GitHub, right? Git pull will bring your code, like probably all the codes that you do not have from GitHub, bring it down into your local repository. So if I say git pull now, watch what happens. Okay, this is new feature. Let me do git checkout back to master. Now git checkout, it does not have it, right? So if I say git pull now, what happens? Okay, I think it's still pulling. But if I say git pull now, I want you to note what happens. Git pull, once I hit enter, know what happens in this place. So as you can see now, it is now going to pull every single thing that we worked on from the master. You understand it now? Yes. All you have to do is do your git pull and then it pulls it. What git pull does is that what you do not have locally here, it pulls it from your GitHub. Yes. 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 Now let us have like an example that is not from my own projects now. Why I'm saying this is because I need everybody to understand it. The reason why it is harder for you to understand because I did both branches on my own system. So now I'm going to, if you want to have collaborators on your code, this is how you have collaborators. First of all, go to your I think you should have collaborators. Can I see collaborators? So I'm going to click on collaborators here, and then I'm going to add collaborators. So let's look for collaborators here and try and add them, or contributors. Okay, let me go to settings instead. So I'll go to settings. So for you to add contributors to your code base or collaborators, go to settings. You should see collaborators. Then click on collaborators. Now, Miss. Hey, what's it? What's your username? And let me add, as you can see, collaborators. Go and add collaborators. What's your username? That's Dev, Abby. Is it you? Okay, good. So I'm going to add you. So now check your email. Have a response that says that okay, you want Now, click on it and accept it. Sorry, just a moment. I think I need to get it. I'm going to pause the recording here and wait for her to accept everything. You've accepted, right? So now let me